Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to surface down my spoil board. And you know what I like to do when I'm on my spoil boards is I actually like to put this fence line. And I don't know if you can see it here, but it's basically right here. This would be my X0 fence here. And then on this edge, this would be my Y0 edge. So what I'll do is I'll just bring in a piece of material and I don't have to think where it's at. I can just bring it in, bring this corner right in there, and then it's there. I know exactly where it's at, you know, everything's squared to the machine, all that kind of stuff. So I'll show you about how I go about doing that. So what I first have done is you've gone through the setup routine and you know where your home location is for your machine. So leave that as it is. I've got a surfacing bit in here. So on this particular one, this is a 1 1/4 inch surfacing bit. And so what we'll do is I know that 0, 0 would be right here, right in the dead center where these two lines meet. So they would intersect right here. So 0, 0 is right there. And when I first surfaced this particular one, I used looks like a 3/8 bit to surface the table. I'm gonna get it done a little quicker with this 1 1/4. So what I want to do in order to do these fence lines is actually come out the radius of this bit so that it kisses the edge and creates the fence. So in this case, I'll jog it out to 0.625 in the X and 0.625 in the Y, and that'll be a temporary 0, 0 location so that the fence line is kissed with the edge of the bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll get that going. Okay, so what I've done is I've moved to location 0.625, and you can see that looks like it's just about right there as far as the where the edge of the bit is in reference to the X. And let's see if I can get the same shot over here in the Y. So it looks pretty good there as well. And just so I'm not fibbing on you there, here it is, 0.625, 65. And now I need to zero out the my bit. Actually, I probably should have done that before I moved it over here. But let me do that first, and then I'll move it back to 0.625, and we'll go for there. So really, the order of operation will be zero out your Z-axis first, and then move it to the radius of the bit that you're using. Okay. Okay, I've got everything set up here. I've zeroed out my bit to the bed, and I've got it parked at the radius of the bit from 0, 0. In my case, it's I'm using a 1 1/4 inch bit, so it's parked at 0.625, 5/8 in X and Y. And now I'm actually going to use the cut rectangle command to surface my table. So I'll kind of walk you through that if you're not familiar with it. Now, if you're using a desktop or a machine that has the turns your spindle on and off, what you need to do before you run this is actually turn on output number 1. So if you go up here into keypad mode, and you can flip on output number 1 right here. All right. Okay. And then actually escape out of there. Well, that didn't work. So Alt 1. There you go. Alt 1 is the shortcut. So if you type in Alt 1, it toggles it on and off. Really, that's what we want to do. Okay. So now I'll go into CR, which is C for cuts, R for rectangle, and we'll fill this in. Now this is your fill-in sheet. I know the area I want to machine here, so we're going to do a X of 24. I'm going to tab down, I'm going to actually use 15 in the Y. Got a specific reason of doing that. And then we're going to go to just take off 10 thousandths there, and repetition, plunge from 0. What this does is actually where I zeroed with the my Z0 bit, excuse me, my Z0 plate. It's going to go down from your new 0. Otherwise, if I just ran that, it would just, my current position, which is at ½ inch, it would go down 10 thousandths from there. So we wanted to start from 0. We want to use this one and do a pocket outside in. Rotation angle, leave it alone, and just check your VC command. This is your cutter value. Make sure it's dialed into what you're using. I have a 1 1/4 inch bit. If you're using a ½ inch bit, change that value there. I'm using a 30% overlap for it, and everything else I'll just leave it as is and hit OK. All right, and then I'm gonna hit start. Okay, so here's the prompt to turn the router on. So I'm gonna since I've got the output number 1 already on here, I'm okay to do this. All right, and so now it's going through and surfacing my table bed. So we'll let that continue, and we'll come back in a little bit. Okay, so it has just finished surfacing the table. So now what it's done is it's parked us back at our 0.625, 0.625, or wherever you had your start location. So now, if you were to go and put a piece of material with a square corner in it right now, you're going to have a problem because you've still got a radius in that corner. So what we do here is actually go into keypad mode and turn the spindle on, move it down to the depth of your last cut. In my case, it was 0.01, so 10 thousandths. And then from the current position, which is 0.625, we will move it in 2 axes, so at M2 to 0, 0. And what it'll do is it just kind of hogs out that little corner there. So we've got like a little, just a recess line for it to accept the corners. So let me show you how to do that. All right, so we'll go into keypad mode here. All right, so I type key. And since I've already got the output number 1 on here, that was with the Alt 1 key, it's going to actually say, is it okay to turn it on? And it is, since I'm out of the way and everybody else is. So it actually turns on there. So here, if you click in the Z field on the keypad mode, all right, you can actually, that highlights the field. If you click on it twice, you'll see how there we go. Actually, I think I had it right the first time, so let me pick once. All right, so now I can go negative 0.01 and then hit go. Oops. Negative 0.01. All right, so there we go. And what it's done is kissing the surface at 0.01. So now I can actually go here or do an M2 move, whichever you'd like, and type in 0 and zero and hit go. And what it's done is it has just moved into that corner where we want the recess for our material to be. So now I can just hit escape and jog home, and all it should really do is just lift up and get out of the way. Okay, and there we have it. So that's how I put a fence line on my spoil boards. So, let's see there. There we go. Nice new fence line and clean surface. I'll get that vacuumed up and it'll be ready to go. So there you go.